Good morning, church family. I just wanted to encourage you today on this thought is a lot of people are wondering what can we do during a time like this? And a couple of thoughts that came to my mind is one is you and I can intercede. The Bible tells us in 1 Timothy chapter 2 and verse number 1, I exhort you therefore that first of all, supplications, prayers, intercessions, and giving of thanks be made for all men. Paul was writing to young Timothy, and he was encouraging him to pray during some difficult times in his life and ministry. And I think that for us, we need to understand this is a time to pray. Pray for a revival. Pray that God would get a hold of America and even Christians, that we'd see souls saved and doors be opened by God that only He can do. And of course, that we would have His divine favor on our lives. And so we need to understand that as the Bible tells us in Matthew 21 and verse 22, in all things whatsoever you ask in prayer, believing, ye shall receive. And so when we pray, we need to make sure that we're praying in faith that God would work. And then not only can we intercede, but we can influence others during this time. And the Bible tells us in Hebrews 10:24, let us consider one another to provoke unto love and to good works. And that's in a positive way, to provoke people, to encourage others to have faith in God during this time. And then we not only can intercede, we can influence others, but thirdly, we can invest. And the Bible tells us, as we look at 1 Timothy chapter 6 and verse 17, charge them that are rich in this world, that they be not high-minded, nor trust in uncertain riches, but in the living God, who giveth us richly all things to enjoy, that they do good, that they be rich in good works, ready to distribute. And so we need to continue, as many of you have been, continue to give to the work of the Lord, to missions and other things that we can during this time. And so we can remember that we're all in this together. And may God use us all to do what we can while we still can. And these are things that we can do during this time. But perhaps the greatest question is, what is God going to do during this time? Even Jesus said in John 13 and verse number 7, what I do thou knowest not now, but thou shalt hereafter. The Bible tells us that our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. So when I think about what is God going to do, I don't know the answer to that. But I am excited to see what the Lord is going to do. God is up to something in this world, and I know that it will have eternal consequences. So we need to continue to pray. Pray for our church, all the members, pray for America, that God will use us during this crisis hour. And again, I want you to know that we love you and we are praying for God's protection and God's provision for you and for your family during this time.